Hello, FFE. I'm a little bit later than expected. I was on a cash creation call and it was awesome. We had a little bit of an impromptu midweek call because we're about halfway through the course now. So it was fun to kind of catch up with everybody, do a little bit of momentum and just catch up with that. So let me know when you guys are here. Today we're talking about money. Yay! And if you haven't seen the Rich Women Change the World post in here, have a check out later on, because that's what today's training is going to be about. We're going to be talking about some of the golden nuggets that I picked up from Denise Duffield Thomas on Saturday. Yay! Which was an awesome day. And I've got just a few pages of notes specifically for FFE ladies. So you can see I brought a brand new notebook. It's very fancy. Brand new notebook for the Denise Duffield Thomas event. Nothing special. It was $1.99 WH Smith's because I forgot to bring a notebook and I had to pick it up off the train. Hey Helen! Yay! So today is all about the stuff that I learned at the DDT event. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. I love that song. It's pretty much the only Jessie J song I actually like, but you know. So, Rich Women Will Change the World. The things that I want to talk about today are some of the key quotes that came out of the Denise Duffield Thomas event. So if you know that there is anybody that should be here that isn't currently here, hit the little share button, type in their name, and they can appear at some point. But the thing that I realised, my glasses are hurting my nose. The thing that I realised at the Denise Duffield Thomas event, I'm going to have to call it the DDT event because it's driving me nuts trying to say Denise Duffield Thomas every 5 minutes. The thing that really struck me was that actually, over the last 3 years, I've followed Denise for 3 years since I've been in my business. And I didn't realise quite how far I'd come when it came to developing my own feelings and thoughts around money. And it was really interesting because I sat at the event and there were like 440 women there. And there were some people who, as soon as she made the pitch, because she did make a pitch and it was epic, for her Lucky Bitch Bootcamp, were like, yes, I have to be in it. And I sat there and I was like, do you know, I'd really love to be in that, but I also wouldn't. And there are a few reasons why, and some of it was more to do with, okay, how far I've come over the last 3 years thinking about money. So just want to share, when I started my business, I was really fortunate. I'd just come out of a corporate job where I'd been earning 6-figure salary as a 23-year-old, 24-year-old. And that was great. You know, life was pretty great. I had a house, I bought a house, I, you know, then later sold it and bought something else down south. But really, I wasn't uncomfortable with money. Also, I thought, when I started following Denise and when I started, hey guys, when I started looking at my own business and money, I started to become massively freaked out by the prospect. Because I was online and everybody online was like, oh my god, if you're not investing 15k in this coach, or if you're not doing this, then you've got money blocks. And I was like, shit, I must have money blocks. What are they? And it was only when I started listening to Denise that I kind of made sense of the whole thing and started really thinking about my feelings around money and what money actually really meant to me. And one of the things that struck me was that the people that I had seen and the person that I had been when I was in corporate earning lots of money was not really my ideal person. Like, it wasn't, oh, I've just realised that I haven't washed my mascara off properly. How embarrassing. But it wasn't the kind of person I wanted to be for the rest of my life. So when I looked at myself in corporate, I was very cold. People knew me as the ice queen. You know, I wasn't somebody who was very kind of tolerant of other people. You know, I wasn't somebody who had a ton of patience with new people who didn't have the kind of same skill level that I did. And all in all, there were some, you know, bad character traits that I had developed. And I associated that directly with the amount of money that I earned. And so obviously, when I was kind of looking at this, I love it, Liz, I was never too cold, I was a bit too warm. Yeah, no, I was just a massive cow. To the point where people would actually send new people over to my desk and be like, if you can pass the Jess test, you'll get through anything. So, you know, whilst I was very good at my job, I was very impatient with people who weren't. And it wasn't a great character trait, and I associated that massively when I came into my own business and I started looking at the kind of person that corporate, or that I had allowed corporate to mould me into. I wasn't massively impressed with myself, and I associated that to or directly to the money that I earn, and really it was nothing to do with that. And it was interesting because at the event, Denise said, because we were talking, or she was talking about the conflicting emotions and the fact that you will always have conflicting feelings about money. You will never get to a level in your business or in your life where you're totally okay with money or with being wealthy. It doesn't matter how much of a hell yes you are. You will always have that bit that's like, oh, but, you know, that makes me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable to say rich. I don't say I'm rich, ever. Like, it doesn't even happen in my life. And again, it's something I realised on Saturday. I was like, I would never describe myself as rich. I would always say comfortable. Like, I would always say that. I would sometimes even use the word wealthy. But rich, I was like, oh, rich I don't like it. You know, it doesn't really fit me. And so we're talking about these conflicting feelings around wealth. And the interesting thing that came up was, and Denise's exact words were, money doesn't make you a wanker if you're a wanker. Okay? No, money doesn't make you a wanker. Sorry for the swearing, but money doesn't make you a wanker. If you're a wanker, you're a wanker. That's exactly what she said. That is word for word verbatim, right? And that was the bit I took most away from. I was like, oh yeah, of course. And even now in my business, I would never describe myself as rich. I would never describe, because I feel icky doing it. But I was like, I'm not a bad person inherently because my business makes a lot of money. I'm not a bad person inherently because I pay myself money. Like, if I act in a negative way, if I act in an intolerant way, it's because I'm an intolerant person, right? And that's something that I've worked really, really hard since I've come out of corporate to not be. I've worked really, really hard to be accepting and to, you know, realise that not everybody is on the same journey that I am, and that, you know, there are lots and lots of different things that I've had to learn. But none of that was to do with money. None of it was to do with whether I was getting paid or whether I wasn't, you know, and it doesn't, you know, really make any difference, yeah? Liz, I always felt like I earned too much in corporate for what I actually did, which is why I think I'm undercharged my value now. So it's really interesting you say that, because it's so familiar. And I think that's the thing. As women, we are not taught, and I've said this to Julie Feuerborn on many occasions, that we're not taught about finances. Okay, finances don't appear when we're at school or in society. And also, I'm British, so whenever anybody in Britain talks about money, which we don't, okay, everyone's like, money? Oh God, no. Nobody wants to talk about it. It's like this really embarrassing topic. Hey to the Sams. Got both of the Sams. Yay. But we don't talk about money. We're not open about it because we don't educate each other about it. And when we say, you know, things like, that person earns a lot of money, the instant thought is, oh God, they must be awful. You know, it is that kind of thing. That's the inherent cultural experience. And that's what we have to change. And that's kind of, you know, I really, really want to be on a mission to change this, to normalise wealth. Because the problem I have is not that we all think of people who are rich as being like, you know, mean or whatever. It's that if we don't normalise wealth, we can never attain it. And I genuinely believe that. And it's something that came to me so strongly on Saturday when I was listening to Denise talk. And I was like, there are many, many women in this room. And many, many women in this room will go and they will buy the boot camp and they will implement it and they will have success and it will be amazing. And there will also be women in this room who buy the boot camp who do not put in the work and who will not be successful. And there are many, many women in this room who are probably like, yes, right now I feel it and I want to be wealthy and I want to be rich. And yet they won't change it. Because in their mind, the idea of being wealthy, the idea of being rich, it's not a thing. It's not normal. It's not something that can happen for them. And so I think we really, really need to shift that. And so as we all know, I've been on a huge journey with FFE recently. And it's been kind of epic. And I keep saying that we're going to have big changes. And I've released a few things in terms of my manifesto and my mission into here. And it is massively about female leaders or future leaders. And there's a reason for that. It's because I don't want to play small in my business, and I don't want to play small in my community, and I don't want women in my community that want to play small. And there's a part of me that when I started my business, and like I was just sharing with you guys, you know, I felt that corporate made me intolerant. But there is a part of me that since I started my online business that has felt like I've been overcompensating so much, you know, for everybody else, right? Because I'm like, oh no, I want to make it possible for everybody. And I do. But I also only want to make it possible for the women who want to make it possible themselves. So that is the women who are like, yes, I want to normalize wealth. Yes, I want to be a leader, right? I don't abide by playing small. And we've had so many shifts in this community, and even over the last few weeks. Hey guys, Goshia and Nicola and Vidya and Jen and Haley, yay! I love it. Sam, I am a friggin' leader. and this is the thing, you know, I've said so often I wanted to make changes to the group, and I haven't. You know, there are quite a few reasons why I haven't. I've been through phases where I've been like, people have been like, Jess, shut the group down. Like, all the popular kids are shutting the group down or shutting their free Facebook groups down. And I don't want to do that. And, you know, then I've been through phases of being like, oh my goodness, you know, I feel like I'm being pulled in a very different direction. I don't really know where it's going to go yet. And, you know, having these kinds of changes. The thing is, I don't want to wait anymore. So, I'm not going to wait until it's perfect, because there's no point in me doing that. I preach imperfection anyway. So I want to change the group, and I want to change the way that we act in here, and I want to change the way that we have conversations in here, and that we support each other in here, and that we do it as leaders. Because I firmly believe that in order to be a leader, in order to make massive impact, you have to be able to sell. They're like congruent, right? Not because I'm a sales coach and I'm like, yeah, everyone needs to be able to sell. But because what really impacted me about that talk was rich women change the world. And I'm like, well, rich women have to be able to sell. They have to. And rich women can be leaders. And rich women can have opportunities that other women don't take. And it's not because they're rich bitches, or because, you know, they're cold, or they're intolerant, or they're too warm, or too happy, or too this, or too that. It's because they take the opportunity. It's because they're brave. It's because they're courageous. It's because they lead. It's because they do the things. They step up when nobody else wants to. And that's what I want to fill this community with. Ah, thanks guys. Goshia loves the topic. Different from a sales coach. Wealth needs to be normalized. It does. Ah, thank you, Sam. Jess, I saw you on that stage. That would have been so weird. Can you imagine? I'd be like, oh guys. But yeah, so we're going to have a name change in the group. Because when I started out, and I was talking to my mum about this, obviously everybody that knows me knows I talk to my mum about most of my key business decisions because she's very, very wise. When I started out this business, I firmly believed that I wanted to be a fabulous female entrepreneur because I wasn't one right then. And I wanted to inspire other people to be fabulous female entrepreneurs. And now I still want people to be fabulous female entrepreneurs, but I feel like entrepreneur is a cop-out word. right? For me, that's how it feels. Entrepreneur is like somebody who, you know, could do it, but could not. And I don't want to breed a community of people that are like, yeah, I could build a business, or I could not. Like, I just don't identify with that. So I want to change it. And there are a couple of other reasons around, you know, I feel like I've outgrown that identity. I feel like my community have outgrown that identity. And also there are a ton of groups now that are called Fabulous Female Entrepreneurs or have like FFE analogies and stuff. So I'm like, oh, it makes it confusing for people. So I'm going to change the group name. And I'm not even sure what to yet. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do it because, you know, Facebook doesn't really like that kind of thing. But I'm going to make it work, okay? And I'm thinking of a few ideas. And I'm thinking that it will be something like Leaders Who Sell or Smart Women Sell. I don't really know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something like that, okay? So we're going to have a name change. The second thing that I'm going to do is I want to be highlighting other genuine experts to you guys. And in the spirit of, you know, rich women change the world, I want to make people in this community. Jen, my idea was great. I don't know why you're not taking it. So obviously I spoke to the Dotties about this as well. And Jen's idea, please remind everybody of what your idea was, Jen, because it was absolutely hysterical. Had a very Indiana Jones feel and it was amazing. But yeah, so we're going to be changing the group name and in the spirit of rich women change the world and actually raising other people up in this community. We are going to be featuring lots of different members of the community and they're going to be doing different live streams and they're going to be stepping up as leaders. And actually we're going to give them a platform in this group that is going to be fairly sizable. I mean, we have like 550 member requests currently that I haven't accepted yet because I wasn't sure what we were doing with the group, what I was doing with the group. So we're going to be 500 odd people stronger, I would say, over the next week. And I want to use that. There it is. Leaders of the Lost Art of Sales. But do you know what? Actually, Jen, that's pretty good. I might actually take that. I don't know. Holly, I'm glad that you like it. But yeah, so we're going to be changing the name. We're going to be making a platform for obviously people to use to monetize their own business. I'm really excited about that. I want to feature as many members as possible. We're starting with Dotties. Jen is going to be in here on May the 4th, which is Thursday. Jen is going to be doing a special May the 4th be with you. I don't know whether anyone likes Star Wars. I don't, but I like that joke. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to make it a platform. And the reason that I want to do this is not because of a vanity thing. And I was saying this to my coach last week, right? I don't want this community to be the Jess show. It makes me feel a bit gross, really. Not because, you know, it's not nice that people like me. That's great. Like, love that. But because that's not really what it's about. For me, this has always been about creating connections with people and creating a real tribe. Because tribes work, because we need tribes, you know, we're not islands as people and we have to work together. You know, I think it was Julie that said once in Cash Creation, it takes a village to raise an entrepreneur, and it really does. And so there will be people in here who never buy from me, and that's cool. You know, there will be people in here who buy from me repeatedly. That's also cool. But this is a community where I want us all to grow, and I want the common goal to be very much about rich women changing the world. Okay. Maybe you're right, Gosha. Maybe that does need to be the group name. I don't know yet. But yeah, that is how it's going to be. The mission in here is going to be about women that are unapologetic, about wanting to be successful, who come together with an army of other women to make things happen. So it's not going to be for people who want to play small. It's not going to be for people who want to kind of sit back and let life happen. This is a place where, you know, it is uncomfortable and we have challenging conversations and we trigger each other and we say things that make you pause and think and that might cause debates and that might cause you to stretch out of your comfort zone. That's what this group is already. And over the last few months, I've been the one that's held that back and been like, oh wow, I don't want to change the name right now, and I can't really think of what I want to call it, and I don't really know what I'm going to do, and I don't want to do all this thing because it's been uncomfortable for me. But in the spirit of rich women changing the world, I can't hold you all back, right? We all have to rise up, and that's really, really important. So there are going to be a ton of changes over the next week. You are going to have to bear with us. I'll be making announcements as we go, so we will be changing the name. Before we make a final decision on the name and change it, which will be this week, I will tell everybody so that you know what the new name is. Yay! And so that you can make sure that you are still in the group and that you don't just think, oh my god, they kicked us out, because we're not kicking anyone out. So we'll be changing the name. There will be an announcement about it. I will be, you know, kind of putting it in a pinned post and stuff, and that will be there for you. There's also going to be case studies that are going to be released tomorrow. So you can go ahead, you can watch case studies, you can look at how to make yourself rich through 3 case studies, which, if I'm honest, are pretty awesome, because I've spent like hours over the last couple of weeks creating them. So that will be good. We're going to be showcasing the Dotties over the next couple of months. We are also going to be showcasing other members. So if you are a member who is like, actually, I want to do a live stream, I want to be a leader, I want to practice, you know, I want to be surrounded by other leaders, and I want to show them something. I want to, you know, show them a particular skill or some particular value, or I want to, you know, impact people with my message. Email us and we will get you scheduled in for that. Because the important thing is that this group is here for leaders, or for future leaders. You can identify yourself as a future leader if you want. But more importantly, it's here for people to really use and get value from and support and learn. Natalie, I love that. One of my goals this month is journal, because I need to get rid of the self-doubt so I can step up. Yeah, exactly. I love that, you know. And this is the thing, it's hard. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's taken me like 6 months to work out really what I want to do. And this week alone, I've seen 3 massive groups and, you know, some large group leaders who've been like, yeah, I'm just going to get rid of my Facebook group. And yeah, it happens, you know. It does happen. People are shutting down their groups, and they're saying it's because of the Facebook algorithms, and suddenly, you know, they've gone from being the star in their Facebook group to being the, you know, person who, I don't know, doesn't get any comments or whatever. And like I was saying to the cash creation guys earlier, it's not because of Facebook algorithms, it's because your message isn't interesting. That's it, right? And I think this is the kind of wider conversation that needs to be had. And in here, moving forward, we'll be having more of these difficult conversations, because I'm not here to sugarcoat everything and to make the online world seem like a bed of roses. And I'm tired of the leaders that are making it out to be like that, or that are saying, if you don't spend 10k on this program, then you're not stepping out of your comfort zone, or you're not going to make it happen. Because the reality is that there are lots of things that happen in this online world that honestly freak me out. You know, I see people acting out of integrity, and I don't like it. I see people, you know, telling people that they've mastered a skill that they haven't, and I don't like it. I see dishonesty, and I don't like that either. And so that's why this space is being created for people who want to step out of their comfort zone, who want to get rid of the kind of BS that's going on in the online world, and actually build their business with integrity, surrounded by other women who want the same, you know, who want to be successful, who are not going to apologize for wanting to be successful, and who are going to go and make it happen, surrounded by women who are going to support them. Okay, so that's what it's all going to be about. And, you know, it means that it will change slightly. So you'll find that there are going to be lots of different pieces of content from lots of different people, which is going to be awesome. It also means that trainings will change slightly, because there will be stuff coming from me that is focused on sales and the practical, this is how you do. There's a song there. This is how you do. but basically the practical elements. And then there will be other trainings on how you lead, how you step up, how you conquer the self-doubt, how you present yourself as a leader, how you operate in the online world, and how you actually make money from it. None of this, oh, you need to, you know, do X, Y, Z, you need to have a 12-step plan, you need to do all this kind of crap. That's not what we're interested in. We're all women who are here because we run businesses, because we want to be wealthy, because we want to make a big impact on the world. That's who I want to stay. You know, if it's not you, then I'm sorry. It sucks. You know, I'm not sure how much I can say it. I would love to have anybody that considers themselves a future leader, that wants to learn how to make sales, that wants to monetize the business, that wants to make a massive impact. If you don't want to do those things, that's cool, you can leave. Because I'm not doing you any favors in trying to persuade you to stay. And, you know, over the last few months, we've played around with different things, and I've had people come to me and who've sent, you know, some really uncomfortable and quite frankly rude messages around, I want you to teach me how to create this funnel personally as a live in your group. And that's not how it works. And as a leader, I kind of don't stand for that. I stand for boundaries, and I stand for respect, and I stand for women that genuinely support other women. You know, that's how we're rocking and rolling in here. Oh, this is awesome. Ariana, I need to start stepping out my comfort zone doing live. Do it! Do a live! Come, email me, come in here, do a live. You know, so it's that kind of thing. It's that simple. Do a live. Just rock up and be like, I'm live, I'm here. That's how I started. I will show you my first ever live if you ever want to see it. Jen, I'm here to stay, loving this message. Yay! Natalie, why would you not want that? Exactly, you know, and this is the thing, guys. It's not... I think it was Kelly who tagged me in this, and actually Denise said it at the event. She was like, it's safe for me to trigger other people with my wealth and success. That's literally what I have here, right? It's safe for me to trigger other people with my wealth and success. And do you know what? I say it, and we say it, and we say it, and we say it, and we don't do it. Because what we think is that when we trigger people, they won't like us. And what I thought for so long was, oh shit, if I trigger my community, we won't be a community anymore. But the important thing is that the people who get it stay in the community, and they build the community, right? And this is the thing for me. The power is in community. It's not about, you know, whether or not you've got a 10-step marketing mojo funnel or something. It's about increasing your net worth with your network. You know, it's about surrounding yourself with people that are making a difference, because you are judged on who you spend time with. I judge myself on the people I spend time with. I spend time with people that are in integrity, with people that are honest, with people that, you know, deliver the message, with people that genuinely empower their clients. I don't associate with, and I don't spend time with people that disempower people, or people that are negative with their clients, or people that make people feel bad unnecessarily, or, you know, people that lie. I don't hold with any of those things, and so I don't spend time with them. And what I want to cultivate is this group where it is about future leaders. It's about women who are like, yeah, I want to be rich, and I want to have the family that I want, and I want to be healthy as I want, and I want to spend time doing what I want, and I want to have the business I want, and that truly believe that yes, you can have it all, because you can. You know, that's the thing. You absolutely can, but you have to put the work in. And there is an element of it not being glamorous, and there is an element of it being hard work, and there's an element of it not being sexy, because it has to be consistent and boring. And I'm not going to say that moving forward we're going to be, you know, looking at the sexiest way that you can make $10,000 in a week or something, but we will be learning how to step up and lead. We will be rising together. We will be looking at the consistent action that you take in order to build your business. And that is what this community is going to be about, you know. And if you want more of that, if you want to know how to build your business, if you want to know the foundational points behind building your business, you need to get into the dotties, Okay, that is as simple as it gets. And I don't often push the dotties, and I will be over the next few weeks, because, you know, people have said, how is the dotties different to FFE? The simple way that the dotties is different to FFE is it's real, it's raw, it's vulnerable at a level that's very, very different to FFE. It's also jam-packed full of business building trainings, which is awesome. It's $47 a month, and it's the only place that you can get one, like, actual direct my eyes on your business, with hot seats, with tailored Facebook Lives, and all that kind of stuff. And we have people in here who are like, I don't want to invest $47 a month in my business, and that's cool. That's absolutely cool. But if you don't want to invest $47 in your business, I would be thinking very hard about whether it's a priority. Because I don't care whether you spend $47 of your money on my membership site or somebody else's business building course or whatever. I care that you step up and that you make a commitment to it. And, you know, that is my honest thought about it. And it's something that I haven't said in a very long time, because I've been like, I don't want to be the person that says, if you refuse to spend money on your business, how can you expect other people to spend money on you? But I am now that person. Okay? Like, I am that person. I'm tired of seeing people do the same thing. You don't have to invest in me. Like, that's the thing. You don't have to invest in me. But you do have to take some kind of action. Okay? So that's what I'm going to leave on the table with that point. Lorraine, ironically, you and DGT have never triggered me from talking about wealth and earning money. The people who trigger me are the ones playing small, making excuses, because it reflects or has reflected some of my behaviour and blocks back at me. Yeah, and I think it's really hard. You know, I find that people mirror your behaviour. One of the things that came up massively for me was that I would get really, really frustrated. I'd get really frustrated that people would download a ton of my free content and then never buy from me. And I'd be like, why is that? And it came down to two things. Either I never asked them to, which, you know, does happen, or there was somewhere I wasn't showing up fully. There was somewhere that I wasn't playing out fully. It might not have been to do with investment. It might not have been to do with, you know, necessarily like completing a course or something, but to do with how I was showing up in terms of, am I leading from my truth? Am I being authentic? Am I, you know, really saying the things that I want to say? And I think it's been a really, really hard journey, if I'm honest. There are things that I want to say that I haven't said. There are things that frustrate me that I haven't said. And I think, in all honesty, it does hold you back. You know, we need to be having open conversations about things like money, about things like leadership, about things that make us kind of take a step back and think about something on a deeper level. And that's what I want this group to become. Okay, and then for people who want actual business building techniques and that kind of thing, and foundational work and sales help and stuff like that, the Dotties is there for you. But this group is for leaders. This group is about, here's how we create, here's how we collaborate, here's how we connect, here's how we lead. That's how I want it to be. Natalie, Sexy Sales Society. Can you imagine some of the requests we'd get if we had sexy in the title? That would be so awesome. Vidya, I hate also people who tell you that you can't do this and that. I hate that. There's nothing you can't do but how to step up and be that person. Yeah, you know, and that bit is the hard bit. Stepping up and being that person is the difficult bit. I think that what we need to do in here is be a lot more open about, do we actually want to do it or not? Like, I'm not bothered, and I said this to somebody in Cash Creation today. In all honesty, if you don't do the work, I'm not going to be the one sat at home crying about it. And that's not because I'm a horrible person. You know, it's not because I don't want them to succeed. It's because ultimately it is a choice, and I can't want it more than you guys do. So for the people that really, really want their businesses, for the people like 100% in, for the people who are, I am going to be a leader, I am destined to be a leader in this space, and I'm going to help people to the best of my ability, and I'm going to deliver to my clients, and I'm going to, you know, be wealthy and be happy and have the business I want and the life I want. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Right? And I want it for you guys, and I will absolutely step up, and I will absolutely be here to support you the whole way. But if you don't want it, I can't do it for you. And that is where I am with this community. You know, I've watched leaders who've shut down their communities, and they've said it's because nobody buys, or because they get a 1% conversion, or, you know, whatever it is. And in all honesty, it makes me wonder how genuine their support was originally. That's what it makes me wonder. Because yes, I'm in online business. Yes, I'm here to sell. Yes, I'm here to make sales. Yes, obviously all of that stuff happens. But I care. The people that I'm not interested in supporting, if we're totally honest and transparent with one another, are the people who like, I'm a hell yes, until you ask them to do something like take an action, and then they're like, oh no, I don't want to do that. That's how it is, you know. But that is, again, that's just me. That's just me wanting to spend my time with people who really, really want to make it work. And it's with me wanting to spend my energy and expend, you know, the parts of me that have worked really, really hard for 3 years to build my business, and show them how to do it so they don't have to suffer the way that I did, or make the same mistakes, right? I love it. Lorraine's selling dotties there. But yeah, so that's kind of what I got from the Denise event, and it was really interesting. The one point I want to leave you guys with was she talked about the your $1 million self, and this really struck me, because really it wasn't, for me, listening to Denise, it wasn't about money. It was about how I show up as a leader. And for months and months and months, I've been like, oh well, when I'm leading from my purpose, when I'm leading in the way that I really want to lead, I'll say whatever's on my mind, and I won't worry about censoring myself, and I won't filter what I really want to say, and I'll say the difficult things, and I'll do this and I'll do that when I am that leader. And she talked about it as being your $1 million self. She's like, and people often think that their $1 million self is like the perfect version, and they're the ones who will get up in the morning and they'll do the early morning journaling, and they'll go to the gym, and they'll do all this kind of thing. She's like, that's their $1 million self. She's like, but in reality, that person is no different than who you are now. And so you're just making like small incremental changes along the way to get yourself to being that person. And that's kind of what I realized about FFE. Over the last 6 months, we've made small incremental changes to how this group is, and we've purged the group, and we've done things that have taken all these steps to being that leader that I want to be, that true, authentic, real, raw, uncensored, unfiltered leader. And we're now at that point where I'm like, oh, I kind of already am that person. I just need to make that final step. And so that's what I'm asking of you guys. If you guys are at that point where you're like, yeah, actually I'm at that final step for myself, where I want to embrace the fact that I want to be a leader in my industry, that I want to really support other women on their journey, that I want to empower the women, this is here. Like, we are, I promise, 100% creating this community for you to showcase yourself, for you to attract people into your tribe, for you to build your community, your network, etc., to be supported, to learn, to get value. And if you're not that person, if you're like, do you know what, it's just too big a jump for me, I will happily recommend other spaces for you. But I want to be really, really clear on what our new mission is, what kinds of women that we're looking for, and I want to invite you, if you know other people, if you know other women who are leaders in the making, who really want to step up, who want to grow as part of a community, as part of a team, invite them in, because we will be letting them in. Obviously not 500 at once, because like Lorraine said earlier, we're like high vibing here, so we won't be letting everyone in at once, but we will be doing that kind of thing. Okay, so does anybody have any questions on any of this? I will be doing a series of posts and some kind of lives this week around the things that Denise said, but I wanted to just make it clear on how the group is changing and what we're doing and how I'm going to show up for you, and you know, how I'm kind of going to want to showcase people and things like that. So if there's any questions, if anybody has any questions for me, you can obviously comment, like let me know, and I'll always answer, or you can drop me a message. Or if you're thinking, oh god, what if I'm not for you anymore, Jess? Don't think that, like, you're always going to be for me. Just drop me a message and let me know, and I can explain it to you if you need any more detail on it. All right. Oh, how can I see the rest of that video? All it comes down to, Jess, is people take free stuff because it's freely available. They don't see the value of the free stuff, and all it matters in their life is how they use their time, whether they're aligned with their business or not, because they may not feel energized enough to take the opportunity taking advantage of working with you. Yeah, do you know what? I'm not even bothered about people working with me. Like, genuinely, that's the thing. The people that want to work with me will work with me regardless. The community, for me, is really important. It's important that we, in here, that we breed a new generation of business owners that actually play big, that don't just say it, that do it. You know, that's what it comes down to. If that means that people want to buy from me, great. If it means that people don't buy from me, that's fine too. Like, it's not going to bother me. I think this is the key thing. This group is not a hub for me to get a ton of clients. It was never started that way. It's nice that I get clients out of this group, don't get me wrong, and it's somewhere that I will always market my business. But it was created with the intention of community and connection and value. And that's what it will stay. But it's about supporting people who are 100% in and who are not just kind of saying that they are and then not being. You know, and I don't mean that in terms of investing with me. I don't mean that in terms of investing with any coach. I mean in terms of showing up daily, doing the work, and leading from the front. That's what I mean. Okay? I love it, Joyce. Money. It caught your eye. But yeah, so that's what it's going to be. We're going to have a name change. We're going to be showcasing people. The group is going to be focused around leading with sales. So leading from the front, leading with sales, leadership, future leaders, all that kind of stuff. Hey, and we'll be changing the name probably on Thursday. So there'll be a post, there'll be a pinned post. I will tag a bunch of people in it. And once you see it, just comment yes so that people kind of keep seeing it. That would be really handy. But yeah. I love it. Are you in or are you in my new strapline? Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it is. Jane, so glad you said that. We're already the successful, whatever that means for you personally, we're aiming to be simply at an earlier space in the journey. Yeah. And this is the thing, you know, I'm not asking people to be different people. That's not it at all. What I'm asking for is for the leaders in the room. Another song's coming. This is the third one on this live stream, which means it's epic. Will the leaders in the room please stand up? Right? I'm on a dog walk, yay! And this is that's the integral part to me. So I want you to invite other leaders. I want this to be a space for women who genuinely want to be wealthy, who want the business, who want the life, who want everything, but also who want to be unapologetic about that, and create this into a space where we are uncensored, unfiltered, and where we do build successful things together. That's what it's going to be. And if it's not right for anyone, that's cool. They can lead. White leave, even. Tara, I'm here. Leaders be leading. and this is it, you know? So this is the thing that's going on. This is the big change. We're going to have a name change. We will probably have another group purge, cull, whatever you want to call it. So if you want to stay in, make sure that you're engaging, you know, and that you are kind of flagging that you want to be here. But yeah, that's what's going to be changing. Name change, slight culture change, much more leadership. If you want business building, basics, foundations, dotties stuff, come over here. Come into the dotties, come get some of that. But yeah, it's like Tara says, it's time for real conversation. It's time to kind of bust the current myths that are going around in the online world and really create somewhere that is totally different, because that's ultimately what it's always been about. Okay, yay! So if you have any questions, if anyone's got any questions or anything like that, let me know. Feel free to comment, drop me a message, whatever. But yeah, over the next couple of days we'll be having some trainings on the Denise Duffield Thomas stuff, yay! Because we've got lots of stuff on that, which is going to be awesome. We've got the case studies will be coming out tomorrow in here, so there'll be a little post for everybody who wants to watch case studies of cash creation, which is awesome. Again, they don't pitch you anything, they're just value-based case studies, so you can go and grab those if you want to. And then on Thursday we'll be doing the name change. I might put a poll in here and ask for some kind of feedback on names, but it will definitely be something around leadership and sales. So I'm thinking leaders who sell, smart women sell, something like that. That's how we're gonna go with it. All right. But yeah, so there you go. it's all exciting. Everyone loves change. Yay! But yeah, so if you need anything, if you've got any questions, if you want to reach out to me, please do. You know, obviously we're not removing anyone. We don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. I certainly want everyone to feel very comfortable in here, but I want it to be a space where we genuinely connect, rather than like so many other spaces on the internet where people kind of talk at each other, and it's lots of just in your face kind of like, oh, listen to all my value, when it's then thinly veiled sales post. I want people to sell in here openly and transparently. I want people to make money in here. I want people to make connections in here, and I want people to have fun. So yeah, smart women sell. I like that one. Yay! I think it's probably going to be that. I'm letting it like percolate, brew over the next couple of days. But yeah, I think it'll probably be around smart women sell or something. So yeah. All right, my loves, have wonderful, wonderful afternoons, evenings, mornings, wherever you are in the world. I am around, so if you have questions, if you need to reach out to me, if there's anything you need from me, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about, well, we're going to be sticking along the money theme, which is going to be interesting. I still get to be funny, yay! So we're going to be talking still around the money theme, but we're going to be looking around what it is that makes you inherently you and how you monetize that. Okay, so it's going to be interesting. It's going to be all about how you monetize with integrity, how you sell with integrity. So I'll see you there for that. Yay! All right, my loves, have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow.